game-changing plays to standout performances. Nitty-gritty rewind is your NFL recap show, bringing you highlights, key takeaways, and real football talk every Monday. Welcome to Nitty-gritty rewind. Y'all know how we start. With no further ado, let's go to the bank. All right, it is to my understanding that the Ravens gave up a 15-point lead. If I got the amount wrong, y'all can
No,
feel free to correct.
you can exaggerate it. Exaggerate it. Like you gave up a 15-point lead with 2 seconds left. This is it doesn't matter.
It was 40-25 with 3 minutes and 59 seconds to go. The Bills did win that game 41-40. Lamar had a Lamar game, 14 completions, touchdowns. Josh Allen, 350 passing yards on the vaunted Ravens defense. The floor is yours, Keys. What happened? How did we get here on this Monday?
All great questions. Listen, I'm gonna let Nick and Keith break down the game, the intricacies of it, what Lamar did with Josh. Just off top, we saw 2 NFL MVPs going blow for blow. They went blow for blow, literally. Like it was, you do what you do, even at 40-25, you ain't feel safe, because Josh Allen was doing what Josh Allen did. Lamar was doing a lot of this. So, so that's my main takeaway from the game. You saw 2 NFL potential Hall of Fame quarterbacks doing what they did. Like they was literally going. Last night they looked like the 2 best players at NFL, clearing the way by far. And that's what it was. And it just so happened was the one whoever had the ball last won the game. I mean, simple as that. And we can talk about how we got there, and I'm sure Nick and Keith gonna get all into that in great detail. But you know me. I mean, if you're a listener or you're a viewer, you know where I've been at for the last 4 years. So I'm not jumping on no type of bandwagon. I'm not picking up off of whatever social media is saying today. But it's time, man. John Harbaugh has to go. I mean, we gave him granted we gave him his credit to he stayed out of his way towards the end of last year. But when you look at it, the totality of the situation, it's time. I can forgive you blowing leads to Josh Allen, the likes of Josh Allen, or the likes of Pat Mahomes, or Big Ben back in the day, But when you look at the list, when you look at that comeback list, and you seeing Daniel Jones on there, and Trevor Lawrence, and Kenny Pickett, and the ghost of Deshaun Jackson at home. And who was the Raiders quarterback? Gardner Minshew. That who was that? So like when you see so it's like I said, I can forgive you for the Josh Allen.
Gardner got y'all twice.
Man. Right, exactly. I can forgive you for all. Right, I can forgive you for the big name quarterback. Josh Allen gonna do what Josh Allen did last night. Like that's Josh Allen, and we gonna get into the defensive calls, but that's Josh Allen. You can't take nothing away from that. He played like who he is, the NFL MVP. And he had the ball last, like I said, but. When you got a coach that's going to stand in your way, when you got a coach where he saw, like we saw, all of us saw it on TV, the whole nation saw it. They couldn't stop Josh Allen. They couldn't, no matter what they did, they could not stop him. So my thing about that is, if you know you couldn't do that, if you have a feel for the game, if you watching that game, you would know that you don't give Josh Allen that ball back. It's simple as that. He was going up and down the field in your defense the whole game. He was doing what he had to do the whole game. And granted, they had a couple lucky plays, but that's how the ball bounced. When things going your way, that's what happens. When your team is doing well, that's what happens. The ball is not going to bounce your way. And if as a coach, if you have a feel for the game, and you see what's going on, and you see these 2 NFL MVPs going blow for blow, why not keep it in your guy's hand, give him a chance to win the game? That's my, like, why not leave it to Lamar to 4th and 3? Because we've seen John Harbaugh. Granted, it was 4th and 1. But we ain't seen John Harbaugh go for it in his own territory in the 4th quarter to seal the game. So he can't say that he hasn't done it before. And his bullcrap excuse, I believe in our defense. That may be fine, but your defense is not against Josh Allen, not right now. It's not the time to rely on your defense. It was Lamar Allen versus Josh Allen. And Lamar Allen should have had a chance to pick up that 4th and 3 to win the game. And because who your coach is, he took it out of his hands. And Keith talked about it a little bit yesterday. He was watching the game. So it's beyond the blown focal leads. It's the situational awareness. Your team is never in the right place. Like giving up 3 points for the end of the half, that's ridiculous. That's outrageous. And we can talk about the defensive calls, but John Harbaugh hired him. John Harbaugh wanted that coaching tree. John Harbaugh wanted him there. Why not go get a experienced defensive coordinator that's not going to sit and covered 6 the whole fourth quarter. You know, so it's a little is a little intricate. But my main thing from here is John Harbaugh got to go, though. You can't keep losing these same games the same way over and over and over and over again. And I'm not excusing the Dark Henry from. I'm not excusing anything that defense did. I'm not excusing anything that Dark Henry did. But to me, it starts at the top. So I mean, Bashadi, EDC, y'all got to look at this because if we can't say we've been, if this is the first time thing, or like I said, it was Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes, it'd be a different story. But this is a routine. This is continue to happen, and it's going to continue to happen. Can you imagine? This is my last point before I pass it over to Nick. Can you imagine this was the AFC Championship game or something? Like, can you imagine that? Like, we fortunate, kind of fortunate that this is the first game of the season. But it can come back to bite you for home field advantage. It can come back to bite you for anything. So it's sad that your team, they look like you start off the game, they score down the score right, and defense didn't look like we knew what type of games when the Bills were right down the field. You should have known right there that it was going to be blow for blow. It wasn't going to be a defensive game. And it's one of the games where your coach need to read the room. I guarantee you, if I get those same leads to Mike Tomlin or Kyle Shanahan or Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, they're not blowing them leads, man. And that's all I gotta say about that.
Oh boy, you're absolutely correct, Keys, and everything you said, I fully 1,000% agree with. You mentioned all the coaches and teams that this would not happen to. I mean, you're absolutely correct. Since the year 2000, teams now have won only 3 of 2,316. So 3 out of 2,316 games when trailing by 15 plus points in the final 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. So we did something historic last night. It was just historically horrible and historically bad. And it was incredible in a bad way. When you see something like that, leading by 15 points, 4 minutes left, in that situation, NFL teams have won 717 consecutive games. Josh Allen threw for 251 yards in the fourth quarter alone, right? That is unacceptable. 250 yards and 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. We became the first team in NFL history to lose a game where we had 40 plus points and 235 rush yards. We wasted an all-time rushing performance by Derrick Henry. The mistakes made last night and the choking last night, we forgot that this guy should have sealed the game on that last touchdown run. Now, obviously, he had a part to play with this with the fumble. And again, me, I always take it back to, did we play a clean game? This is another situation where the Bills won the turnover battle. It's another consecutive game. I forgot how many consecutive games they are now where they've forced a turnover. They also won the turnover battle for the 23rd consecutive game. So again, that's something that the Bills do. They force turnovers. They don't commit mistakes. So Josh Allen, yeah, they took a little while to rev up, even though we were going band for band at first, but then we started to outpace them. We started to get in our groove and put pressure on them offensively. And, the Bills were in a rut. If you remember, we almost sealed the game with the interception late in the fourth. It just hit the ground. So we had our opportunities to close the game, to impose our will towards the end, but we just couldn't find the juggler. And if you let somebody like Josh Allen, you let somebody like the Bills creep around long enough, this is what they'll do to you, especially when you're helping their comeback by aiding them with a fumble at the 30-yard line, especially when situationally you can't run out of clock. You can't get a first down. You're doing 3 and outs. Defense
you're running into 10-man boxes.
You have players 5-10 yards. My thing is, how did Keon Coleman put up a performance like that, and he hasn't been able to separate on the NFL level? He's by all means a power forward out here, right? All he's doing is boxing players out and attacking jump balls and winning contested catches and using his size, which he's great at doing. But if that's what he's doing, why are you giving him so much space? Why are we playing off of him? There's no reason why he should have 13 targets and should be that effective on a defense like ours. When I say defense like ours, you have talent all on every level. And, Nate Wiggins, didn't have the greatest performance last night. Our safety play, outside of Kyle Hamilton, it wasn't the best night. Roquan Smith, it wasn't the best night. Trenton Simpson, They don't even like that boy being on the field. You had Teddy Buchanan out there for passing situations. They didn't even want to see him. No Dafiowe, no way, whatever you want to call him. No Jabba doesn't even suit up. They said, don't bother. But we have no pass rush. You know what I mean? So it's that bad to where we're telling pass rushers don't bother, but we don't have a pass rush. It's all bad, and it stems back to John Harbaugh. You know, I'll let Keith say the stat because I'm sure Keith heard the stat today about John Harbaugh and what we've been dealing with for a while, and it's just like quickly about him. When you enable this, right? You enable the losing mentality when nothing is done to keep players and the team accountable. You know, we continue to lose the same way over and over again. And mind you, this is the regular season version of the Ravens choking. We mentioned Zach Orr. I want to give him a couple more weeks only because actually, no, I don't. The bail is unnecessary, but I will remember we talked about different coordinators. The one common denominator is John Harbaugh. This happened to McDonald against the Dolphins. This is what this game reminded me of. That Dolphins game. And in the regular season, we see that we'll get up to leads and lose the leads. It's the opposite in the playoffs. We'll start off slow and be trailing by double-digit points and then try to come back every time. And we just never complete the comeback. So we have to figure out something. You know, we're clubbing.
You got to take away his play calling duties. You got to do something. Something got to be drastic. Take away his play calling duties.
Well, my thing is, lastly, about Harbs before I pass the Keith. He mentioned this is a situation that clearly we've struggled in. Is something that we've had to look at, that we'll need to look at going forward. I'm like, hold up, it's taken now to say that we need to look at this situation. How will we defend in these situations? How will we play call on offense on these situations? How will we manage the clock in these? It took you 5-6 straight losses in this situation for you to say publicly, you know what, we're going to look at this and evaluate it and try to improve it. That's crazy to me. But I mean, listen, people are saying it's just week one. Yeah, it is. And I'm not worried about whether we're going to win the division or make the playoffs. Yeah, so in that case, yeah, it's just week one. Mm-hmm. But if your goal is to win a Super Bowl, you don't want to see this shit week one.
Nope. No, I mean, it's definitely just week one, but that's the difference of us going back up to Orchard Park or you hosted in the bank in January. So it makes a big difference when you felt what that weather felt like last year. You go back to John Harbaugh and just his defense. I was going to go on Zach Orr. And just his defense. And a lot of it does go back to Harbaugh. I mean, you look at how they ended the half, allowing the Bills to get 3 points. It's just piss poor. But that's been a Ravens issue for years. They've always played soft at the end. Go ahead.
About that, what was your opinion about that last play? Because I saw everybody drop back in coverage. There's nobody on the line, and to allow a sideline play, I just didn't understand how that was possible.
No timeouts. You're not guarding the sidelines. You're not keeping everything in the middle of the field. But that, like I said, that's been a Ravens issue for almost a decade now since he's been here. The Ravens play soft at the end of a half. If they got a lead late in the game, under 2 minutes, they're going to start to drop off, not send as many people. And that's just what they do. They play soft. So that's a foundation.
They're going to put that Josh Allen throw down the left sideline on film for quarterbacks to study. That if you want to drop a ball in between the cornerback and the safety in the fourth quarter, and you play that, look at Josh Allen do that again. He did it 3 times in a row. Just literally just tossing the ball 3 times in a row because it wasn't even a defense. I mean, yeah, Jair was getting beat, but it was the coverage. Like, why are you paying 2 deep? Why are you doing that? Why, if you know you're not getting, like you said, Nick point, if you know you're not getting any pass rush, why are you not blitzing anybody? Why are you still just rushing for?
Yeah, why are you still rushing for?
Like, why are you still just rushing for? Not dripping no pressure, let them escape the pocket, blitz them. Get them uncomfortable. And my thing about it is, and my fault if I ain't control. My thing about it is this like you got to continue to do the things that got you there that gets you that 40-25. You can't just resort back. Like it's the same old adage. Like, you know, if you saw the young guys today, you get a woman, you can't stop doing things you do to God, she gonna leave you. You gonna leave. I mean, it's simple as that. You can't just
gonna choose, baby.
Exactly. You can't just stop. You can't just stop like letting Lamar, you know, get out the pocket. Like on that run, you can easy bootleg him out. They was slamming hard against. They had 10 people in the box. Literally, they had one person back, 10 people in the box, and the Ravens decided let's just run a ISO to Derrick Henry and let 6 people in the backfield. So it's on Monk too, but like I said, I'm not going to put too much money because the offense looked great until it didn't. So
he scored 40 points. He's supposed to win.
Yes, I'm not gonna put enough. Like you said, it's not about. It's the situational football, and that's what the Ravens. And when we talk about situational football, it's coaching. That you literally practice red zone defense, into the half defense, into the game defense. You practice all that every single day. You implement that. You take one practice every single day, every week of every regular season, and you work on situational football. So I mean, I guess he's not being coached well enough to play it.
That's a problem. I mean, 17 blown leads for Harbaugh, the most since 1991, I think they said. I mean, it's just pathetic at this point. I mean, how many times you gonna go out there and play? I mean, the offense was flawless. I mean, Zay Flowers up and down the field, Derrick Henry up and down the field. Like the Ravens performed last night. Now, maybe the only draw they may say, three play drives for 65 yards. You ain't draining no clock. You just going up and scoring real quick, putting the ball right back in Josh Allen's hands. But if you get what you supposed to do about that? You got to get stops at the end of the day. Like why you see a
if that big man's rumbling, let him rumble.
Plays, yeah.
Mm-hmm. If he's going for a 50-yard game,
gotta give him a chance.
Yeah, to the change, I think you just got to take away his play calling duties. Like you got to let somebody with experience play calling, some experience play.
They don't make no type of in-game changes
because them fourth quarter calls were ridiculous. Like and I think about and why I say always come back to John Harbaugh, and we talk about this all the time with Tomlin. Sometimes you hear that call in the headset, you can veto that call. You can say no, we're not doing that. Like that's not happening. But John Harbaugh say, "Oh, let's sit back in this cover cover whatever defense, and just let Josh Allen throw for 250 yards in the fourth quarter." That's ridiculous. That don't even sound like it could possibly happen for real. Like I feel like we playing Madden. That's type of shit happening on Madden, and it's like you can't even really be too upset about it because it's what you're used to. We've seen the Ravens do this time and time again, and now it's like, all right, what's going to change?
So to start the fourth quarter, Derrick Henry had that 46-yard touchdown with 11 minutes 50 seconds left. And the subsequent defensive possession, we forced a punt. So with 9 minutes 18 seconds, we got the ball back, feeling good. Up 15 at that point. That drive that followed that, Derrick Henry first down, 3-yard gain. Derrick Henry 1-yard loss. So at that point, we're 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8, we had a false start.
Yeah, false start. Yep.
Yeah. So then we're at 3rd and 13. Then two methodical, conservative, predictable plays on 1st and 2nd down, compacted with a mistake. And then on 3rd down, we don't get 13 yards, right? Because 3rd and 13 is not the easiest to get against a playoff contending team. So we punt after that point. At that point, and then it was the touchback. I think that's the situation where we had a horrible special teams play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we could have pinned them in the
when Simpson touched. It was at the 1. Like Simpson touched the ball. Oh man, situation football.
So instead of having them pinned within the 5 at the 1 or the 2, we're at the what? The 20 at that point, and then that drive consisted of the Keon Coleman bullshit touchdown catch, right? And then once it's 40-32. And the momentum is shifting. 4 minutes left. Derrick Henry fumbles. See, that's what happens when you let momentum shift. Things like a Derrick Henry fumble happens out of nowhere. And he made a mistake. He shouldered the blame for the loss, but as much as he produced for us, I don't want to blame him for a loss. But I will say everything that led up to that fumble was like the perfect storm and culmination of choking. Like when there's choking in the air, there's a lot of elements that go into it. And I just painted the picture for you. I mean, it happened since 11 minutes. Like it's kind of like every time we get to the fourth quarter, we start to fucking panic. And it's not just the coach and it's the players. It's everybody involved. It's like a dark cloud around us, and teams feed on it too. They know it. They like, oh, we got them where we and then they start and they press that button and they go. And they go on us, and it's ridiculous.
My fault. Go ahead.
And I was going to say not to going on Derrick Henry, but not to defend him per se. But I mean, the Bills knew what was coming. They had 6 people in the backfield. You got 6 people stripping at the ball. Like the line didn't block or nothing. Like so, and then going back to situational football, I mean, it's this play that's been floating around the internet all day, but with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left, the Ravens hiked the ball with like 23 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah.
Like, so that goes back to situational football. This is Josh Allen you playing against. You literally have to drain every second off the clock. You're not beating Josh Allen until it says 00. Even at 40-25 last night, I never felt comfortable because you know what he's capable of. You've seen him go up and down the field. And then once he figured out the defense,
it made it easy for him too.
Barbecue chicken.
Yeah, and y'all ain't gonna get a pass rush.
The Ravens not gonna make no sort of adjustments on the fly. That's not what they did.
God forbid.
They don't make adjustments on the fly. Not this coaching staff.
What I take away from the game is like for 3 quarters, you look at the best team in football. In the fourth quarter, you don't. So which team are you? And it's going to remain to be seen.
I think this is, well, I don't want to say that because there's a long season for us to get better, to grow, develop. And before the game, we were saying it's just week 1. So I want to be fair. But at the same token, our identity over the past several seasons has been this.
We look like food.
And that's my
We'll give you 55 minutes, but what about the other 5?
I'm not taking it as week 1. I'm taking it as this is who people think the Ravens are. And they're going to say, okay, let's get the Ravens to the fourth quarter within a striking. And even it don't even got to be striking difference.
So what did Tomlin say?
Keep it close. They're gonna piss down their
leg.
Yeah,
exactly. That's my point exactly. And he's right. Like let's get the Ravens to the full course. So to me, it's more than week 1. It's week 1, of course. The grand scheme of things, we can say is week 1. Fine, they 0-1. Whatever. You got the Browns last week at home. See how you play. See how you bounce back. But in the grand scheme of things,
the Browns look good. Keys.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't sleep on division games. I don't sleep on division games at all. You will never hear me come in and say the Ravens going to beat the division by more than a division rival.
Oh, man,
it's not. That's not happening in the AFC North. So is this like who are you? Who are you? And I think that John Harbaugh is, he needs to go, man. You bring him back last year because bring him back this year. He stayed out of his way, but like I said, he got to go.
And yo, just to keep it on Harbaugh real quick, Rodney Harrison, obviously the Sunday Night Football do the post game, and he said, "I'm looking at Coach Harbaugh. He has to continue to emphasize finishing, and that's something that comes from the head coach. It's just an undisciplined team. They get comfortable. They just need that head coach to continue to put that pressure on them." About Zach Orr, he said, "I think he's grown as a defensive coordinator, but he has to get better. He has to understand his personnel better, and he has to understand the opposing team's personnel better."
But this is third time facing that same personnel in how many months?
And how many times has Chuck Pagano and Wink Martin, or not Wink Martin, but Dean Pease seen this personnel and seen these teams? So, man, this excuses. People got to
Keon Coleman. Khalid Shakir. This ain't Jamar Chase.
Shakira. Like, no.
It's a defense.
I like Khalil. No, stop.
Like, yeah.
For some reason, they just went to that zone deep. I don't know why they just
James
went to that
Cook.
zone defense.
That 50 some odd yard catch that he had where he just caught it and like ran past 2 or 3 defenders and then cut across the field. Roquan. Those are the plays I need you to make. In those situations where you're the last guy in defense, like I kind of need you to make that play. You can't flail. Not James Cook.
On Malachi Starks, Nick.
Incomplete. I think he did a couple things well. I think he had a chance at an interception, but that was broken up. But as far as tackling is concerned, I think he could have did a better job. It's gonna be a work in progress with him. Game speed. Is that why? I think that game was called a certain way. I don't know.
I think it seemed like to me
on a high Jair. Like there's a few things back there that was going on.
He just a step too slow for every play. He's like, it's just game speed. I think we talked about that. Once he get up to speed, he'll be okay. But he definitely was a step, 2 steps late on every single thing.
As far as Jair, I talked about wanting to see him when he's fully healthy. I hope that ain't the fully healthy version.
I think the Ravens might have done him a service too, throwing him out there. I'm
that's the first time playing in so many games, but I'm not giving no excuses though. You got to be better than that, especially in that zone coverage. I don't want to see. I think Jair is trying to do things that his knee is not going to allow him to do yet. That's why he shouldn't be playing. But he was definitely out. But I think some of them plays, if Jair was fully healthy, he would have made. But I'm not giving him no bail either. Like make the damn play or play back or get off the field.
Get off the field. I'm consistent. Mark Andrews, if your hands are too cold in a situation, and Isaiah
we
Likely's hands are
No
perfectly fine.
Did Mark Andrews even play yesterday? No show.
Did Bateman play? Did Andrews play? I mean, shout out to Zay Flowers. We went this whole show. We ain't shout out Zay Flowers, 149 receiving yards.
No, Zay a guy. Zay a bona fide number one.
Y'all people on the internet talk about not paying him. Y'all so silly, man. We finally got a dude, and y'all talk. And this is the first thing you say, but you were ecstatic when Bateman gets paid. I'm talking about ecstatic.
Yeah, Zay a guy. Like if you watch the Lamar and Josh matchup after Derrick Henry,
Zay shows up every time we need him.
Yeah,
and you just wonder what it would have looked like with him in Buffalo last year. Like, I mean, you played the playoffs without your number one wide receiver. But
speaking of Bateman, there was a missed call on the there was a hold, I believe, or a pass interference that could have been called. As a receiver,
you gotta get that call. As a receiver, you gotta earn that call. Like you can't just like hold your arms out. Like a bona fide number one with a jerk back. Like you gotta get that call because it was definitely a call.
It was obvious.
You don't do nothing. Who cares? If you don't make it seem like you want to catch the ball, the referee not giving.
People don't like James Harden games, but he get to the free throw line.
For real, like you gotta get that
call.
That
pass interference, that spot foul.
It helps your team.
It moves the ball. So. Yeah,
but DeAndre Hopkins, like to shout him out.
Big play.
It's an interesting thing to me. I know this isn't going to be a controversy because of where Bateman was drafted, the contract we gave him, his age versus anything. But I don't know. I kind of like D Hop being a secondary target right after Zay. I mean, did you see the play he made for his quarter?
I mean, why not try it though? I mean, who I'm not against trying it.
I ain't never seen that. I ain't seen that as a Raven fan in a war. Ever.
You
likely be mossing people, but not like that.
If that's the old version of DeAndre, I'm cool with him. I like it.
Yeah, definitely get
more.
Him
Give me more.
You just gotta get out your own way, man. That's all that is. And coaching, get John Harbaugh the hell out of here.
Well, that's not going to happen. Y'all have said that. All right, it's not going to happen. He's a lifer. As much as I complain about Tomlin, y'all complain about Harbaugh just as much. He's not going anywhere. He's a lifer.
But he can be a lifer. But when you got to create it, when you got personnel like this, when your team is constructed like this with these many weapons,
wasting the windows.
Like Tomlin hasn't had these weapons.
No,
like
we had
the
quarterback.
clip is fully loaded with Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And he can't fire.
How many times are we going to say we're going to take this back to the drawing board?
We'll be taking back to the drawing board.
We'll get better we'll learn from this. I love that message. If you actually learn from it, it's okay to make mistakes and to fail and to learn.
17 of those is crazy.
Come on, dog. You're not learning from nothing. You keep doing the same shit.
Yeah. And like
it's only one common denominator. Everybody haven't been here for the 17, but one person.
Yeah, that 17 go back, and like he's mentioned, it's great quarterbacks in that mix, and it's also mid quarterbacks in that mix.
A lot of mid, more mid than great.
Yeah,
maybe there's a reason DeCosta they bake the cookies for Harbs. Like, does Harbs got something on the organization? Does he have like some secret dirt? What's the T? Like, what is going on?
He got the Epstein files on his hard drive, probably.
I literally was about to say, I was like, the only thing we need now was for Harbaugh to be in the birthday book. We be good. Like, get him in the birthday book.
Y'all segment is official. I'm ending this segment now.
Yeah, please.
Let me take y'all behind the steel curtain.